How we doing, everybody? UFC Thoughts here, and today I'm going to be recapping UFC 306, Riyadh Season Noche UFC. Excuse me. Let's just get right into it, man. No pussyfooting around. O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. Man. Merab did it. He fucking did it. He outlanded Sean every round. I don't know what other round they possibly could have given Sean besides maybe round 3. Maybe. I think 3 was close because I don't think Merab actually took down Sean in round 3. He didn't. But I think that this fight was pretty clearly, at worst, 49-46 for Merab Dvalishvili. He looked good. Not that he looked good. He did what, if you picked Merab, he did what you thought he'd do. He pushed a heavy pace. Sean O'Malley started to wilter and crumble. But I will say this, and this isn't me coping or anything because I'm like a Sean O'Malley fan. I think it is objectively clear that Sean O'Malley looked bad. If I'm being honest, he looked pretty bad. I don't know what it is with champions on this card, both him and Alexa Grasso. They both looked pretty bad. Sean O'Malley looked like he didn't want to throw anything. He threw under 100 strikes in this fight. I mean, in some rounds, he fucking threw 10 strikes. In rounds 2 and 4, he threw 11 and 10. That's just not very much like him. And Sean, he wasn't even like punching for Merab's head. He was going to his body almost the whole time. He threw, from what I remember, he landed one punch to the head in the first round. And then he very rarely tried to attack it after that. He kept going for a right straight to the body. He didn't throw kicks to the body until round 5, which he actually hurt Merab with. The game plan was pretty shit from Sean O'Malley, if I'm being honest. And also, I think the cardio did end up getting up to him. I think that Sean O'Malley, going into that 5th round, man, he looked fucking tired. He looked very, very tired. Also, round 5. I forgot. Rounds you could give Sean, you could definitely give him round 5 because he did hurt Merab to the body. And that's probably where he did his most damage, was round 5. But, like, round 4 and round 2, like, 6 to 65, 7 to 74 striking numbers. Holy shit. Merab kind of just mogged him a little bit. He kissed him on his back. He was taunting him the whole time. Merab really showed out as best as he can. He didn't. I don't think anyone can talk shit now. And, I don't even know what else. It's a scary sight. The Dvalishvili-Nurmagomedov fight is now even more interesting. It is probably the most, I won't say the most interesting fight at bantamweight right now. Well, at bantamweight, of course, but in the UFC, I was about to say. That fight is super interesting to me. Merab and Umar, because we've seen both of them now go up against long, rangy strikers, you know, lanky dudes, and Corey Sandhagen, Sean O'Malley. And they both dispatched their dude in different ways. Like, Merab did what he did in the grappling. Umar actually, like, outstruck Corey Sandhagen, which is honestly very fucking surprising to me to the day. But I think the concrete thing with both of those fights is that both Sean and Corey kind of just didn't look at their best. And I'm not going to try and use that to take away from Merab's performance. I think the reason why both Corey and Sean didn't look as good is because the people they were going up against were just better than them. And I think that's what you have to do when you look at this Sean O'Malley and Merab fight, is that Merab is just stylistically kind of a nightmare for Sean O'Malley. Especially because, like, everyone was talking about Sean's takedown defense. And the thing is, the pace that Merab fought at wasn't even, like, Merab crazy, like the Petr Yan fight. Like, he actually kind of dimmed it down for this fight. He only shot, like, 15 takedown attempts. But I think the only reason why he didn't go for it was because Petr Yan was able to, like, get back up. Sean O'Malley really struggled in this fight in the clinch. He kept getting kneed in the legs, kept getting kneed to the body, kept getting hit with body shots. Merab tanked him. And Sean O'Malley does not deserve an immediate rematch. He needs to win another fight to get back to the title. And I think that the fight that you can do in that scenario is O'Malley-Corey Sandhagen. I see a lot of people climbing and calling for Sean and Henry Cejudo to fight. Sure, if rankings just don't make sense and context doesn't make sense, which in the UFC it kind of doesn't, but like Henry Cejudo's on a 2-fight losing streak. He's number 6. Henry Cejudo should be fighting down in the rankings. Honestly, a fight between like Henry Cejudo and Song Yadong makes more sense than him versus Sean O'Malley. But Merab, he's definitely going to defend against Umar first. He should defend against Umar first, even though you can argue that Umar doesn't really deserve a title shot, which because he only has like one top 15 win. It's like you're not really going to try and give it to fucking Davis and Figueiredo, are you? Like, Figueiredo, Merab would be a cool fight, but you know what sounds even cooler on paper? Merab Dvalishvili versus fucking Khabib's cousin. Like, that, of course, is just going to sell more pay-per-views. So, great win for Merab Dvalishvili. He won how you thought he'd win. I mean, he's kind of like a Khabib in a sense where you know what he's going to do, and you just can't do anything about it. So, good shit for Merab. We move to the co-main event, Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. I said it. I fucking said it. I knew that Valentina is the better fighter. I'm fucking pissed. I'm so fucking mad, dude. I knew that she was better, but like this was the best she's looked in any of the fights. Man. I'm regretting picking Alexa Grasso so hard. I wanted to pick Valentina so bad, but I just thought that she'd look worse because she's now 36 years old. She looks the best she's looked probably in her last, like, besides the Lauren Murphy fight, of course. In her, like, last fucking 4 fights, this is the best she's looked. Like, including the Tyler Santos and the first Alexa Grasso fights. God damn it. Good win for Valentina. Alexa Grasso, again, kind of a case that with Sean O'Malley, it just didn't look like she wanted to be there in moments. And, yeah, the Mickey Mouse title reign of Alexa Grasso comes to an end at the hands of Valentina Shevchenko. She never defended it against anybody else. She actually never defended her title because the second fight was a draw, and she arguably lost. This tale of the tape was literally just Valentina taking down Alexa Grasso, and Alexa Grasso legit just not being able to get back up. That's it. That's the fight. Rounds like 1, 2, and I think a large majority of 3 and 4 were literally like Alexa would get taken down and just try and get submissions off her back and not try and get back up. So, yeah, we got some great fight IQ from Alexa Grasso tonight, dude. So the underdog on Valentina hits. I wanted to fucking pick her because she was an underdog and I thought she'd win, but you know, I'm not even that mad. I'm not even that mad, dude. It's fine, dude. I'm so fucking pissed. I'm joking. Yeah, Valentina wins. Probably gonna be her versus Manon Fior. Like mid next year, maybe March or April, whatever the pay-per-view is then. Because Alexa Grasso just got 50-45. She does not deserve a title shot. You should do Alexa Grasso versus maybe Macy Barber. Macy Barber, Alexa Grasso, do that rematch, because I'm pretty sure Macy and Alexa did fight, didn't they? And Alexa won? Yeah. Do that. Make that rematch. Make it like a co-main event of a fight night. Do that. Fuck it. They're 2 different fighters. But for Valentina, of course, she's going to be fighting Manon Fior. Probably late. Not late, but early, mid next year is probably when I would guess. So we got that to look forward to. And I'm pretty sure Manon probably just beats Valentina. Because she can actually defend a takedown. We move to the featured fight. Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez. Oh, man. Diego kind of washed him a little bit. Made Brian miss a lot. Knocked him down, what was it, twice? They didn't credit Diego for 1 knockdown in this fight? Are you smoking dick? What? Well, we all know that that's not right. He knocked down Brian Ortega, like, twice. He knocked him down in the first, and then he knocked him down in the third. But, Diego looked really good in this fucking fight, man. He looked really good. He looked more composed. He didn't gas himself out. He didn't go too crazy to where you're like, oh my god, he's gonna kill himself. He actually looked very composed. Didn't gas out, which is what a lot of people were picking Brian Ortega for, was on the chance that Diego Lopez does gas out. You got Brian Ortega, statistically one of the best people in comeback wins is Brian Ortega. And Diego Lopez stopped all that shit with he pressured really well. And Diego Lopez still had knockout power in round 3 with the knockdown in round 3. And he clipped him early. Diego Lopez's counter-striking looked good. I will say Diego Lopez was getting hit by a lot of jabs from Brian Ortega, which, of course, I think a lot of people thought would happen because, like I said, Brian Ortega's boxing fundamentals, like offensively, not defensively, his defensive boxing is fucking shit. But his offensive boxing is actually kind of underrated. So he was able to kind of work his way in and, just, get inside and land some decent 1s and 2s on Diego. But besides that, Diego kind of pieced him up, threw a bunch of leg kicks, tore up that lead leg of Brian Ortega. He looked really good, man. Diego Lopez, he's a problem. He's going to be a problem. If he's able to fight at that pace, man, he's going to be a fucking issue. So Diego's probably going to move all the way up to number 3. I mean, honestly, Volkanovski's got fight news, doesn't he? I would love to see Volkanovski, Diego Lopez. I think that fight would be cool. I think Diego Lopez versus Arnold Allen would be cool. I think Diego Lopez versus like the winner of Sterling and Movsar would be cool, especially if it is Movsar, because you can do that rematch. You got a lot of new fun fights at the top of that division because Diego Lopez is in there, and Brian Ortega is now out because he's going to move up to 155, of course. But you got a lot of fucking fun fights at 145 at the top now with Diego Lopez's name thrown in the mix. Great win for Diego Lopez. Brian Ortega, I don't know if his chin is getting worse or that's just how hard Diego Lopez hits. Because it looked like the first punch Diego Lopez landed literally knocked out Brian Ortega. I thought he went out and then he woke back up, but who knows? We move. Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovics. I was so fucking geeked when Esteban won this fight, dude. Listen, I know that you can argue that Daniel Zellhuber should have won, because there is an argument that Daniel Zellhuber just gets rounds 1 and 2. Round 3 is obviously Esteban Ribovics, but some people were saying that Esteban gets like a 10-8 in the third, which is just incorrect because of the knockdown that Daniel Zellhuber had with the elbow. But like round 1 was pretty close. Round 2 was it was a close fight, honestly. But on damage, I thought Esteban probably landed the better shots. And I forget if it was round 1 or 2, but he for sure won round 3. I thought Daniel Zellhuber clearly won one of the first 2 rounds, so it was 1-1 going into, it could have been 2-0 going into the third round, but Esteban pulls it out, man. And I couldn't be happy because I called it. Body shots into head shots. Esteban Ribovics, the Argentinian man. I told y'all, watch out for this dude. Listen, dude. Sometimes you gotta watch out for these youngin' dudes. And I kind of picked Esteban because I was kind of sick of people dick-sucking Daniel Zellhuber. I'm sorry, but like, I know in my video I was like, I like Daniel Zellhuber. I lied. I don't really like him all that much. I kind of wanted to see him get fraud checked. And I got to see that. So let's go. Let's fucking go, dude. Esteban's better than you, dude. Nah, but Daniel will be back for sure. He's very good. But Esteban's just better, man. Esteban landed a bunch of shots in that third round. He was going to the body a bunch, which is what I said would win him the fight, is if he's able to mix in the body strikes into the head shots. And because that's what you kind of need to do against Daniel Zellhuber, because you can't just go for his head constantly, because he's going to be able to evade all the strikes. You got to make him bite on the body shots and then aim up top, and that's exactly what fucking Esteban did. And he clipped him with the same fucking right hand that Christos Giagos clipped him with. It was the exact same one. And Daniel Zellhuber, guess what he did? He fucking airplaned out like Santiago Ponzinibbio, dude. He went, he fucking airplaned out, dude. God, I'm so happy Esteban Ribovics won, dude. This is my guy. That's a huge underdog hit. I was one of the only people picking him. Fuck it. Let's go, Esteban. Esteban, he's on a 3-fight win streak. Kamala Kirk, Terrence McKinney, and now Daniel Zellhuber in the Sphere especially. You can probably give him some lower ranked, maybe close to the rankings lightweight. I don't know who that might be. Do Esteban Rubic's Michael Johnson. Do that fight. Please. I would love that fight. That'd be fucking awesome. Or you can do like Esteban Ribovic's Evan Elder. Because Evan Elder, I think, is a lightweight, but for some reason he fought at welterweight against, fucking whatever that dude's name is, Darius Flowers. So, you can do that fight as well. We move to the start of the main card. Ronaldo Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. To be honest, I thought this might have been a little bit of a robbery. I'm not gonna lie. I thought Ode had a very huge case of winning. A huge argument to win this fight. The first round is obviously Ode Osborne. He knocked him down, almost subbed him. Round 2, clearly Ronaldo Rodriguez. He literally beat the shit out of Ode Osborne on the ground. Round 3, it's close. Round 3 is very close. Ode landed the better shots on the feet. Not landed the better. He landed more shots on the feet, but it looked like Ronaldo kind of stung him a little bit more. And he also got on top at the end and threw a bunch of fucking, like Ronaldo hammer fists. So, you know, it kind of just depends on how you score those ground strikes at the end. If you don't really score them that heavily, I think you can kind of lead towards Ode Osborne. I guarantee you a lot of people were pissed off when Ronaldo Rodriguez, especially after that third round, because I thought a lot of people thought Ode Osborne probably won that fight. And I thought you can make an argument that Ode did. But good win for Ronaldo Rodriguez. We can see now he can get chinned. He is not just a Terminator that walks forward and can take all the punishment in the world. He can get chinned, so we can know that going forward. We didn't know that going into this fight. All we've seen is this kid just walks forward, eats punishment, and just deals it out. Ode Osborne almost knocked him out in the first round and almost subbed him. So now we have that to work with Ronaldo Rodriguez. Ode falls to 4-6. Very fun fight, though. The whole main card, honestly, up until the Grasso-Shevchenko and, honestly, the O'Malley-Dvalishvili fight wasn't insanely entertaining. The rest of the fights, besides maybe Raul Rosas Jr. and Richie Long, which I'll get to at the end of the video, were fucking insane fights. They were all very entertaining to watch. This is one of them. Great win for Ronaldo Rodriguez. Sucks to see Ode Osborne lose again. As one of my boys. But, yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back against another up-and-coming prospect. Ronaldo Rodriguez. We have the Mexican Manel Cop. We move to the featured prelim. Irene Aldana versus Norma Dumont. The worst cut I've ever seen in my fucking life. I shit you not. It is the worst cut I've ever seen in my life in MMA. That is fucking grotesque what Norma Dumont did to Irene Aldana's forehead. And it is kind of shitty that cut was started by a head clash. But let me get into the fight, actually. Norma Dumont, I said she'd have to grapple with Irene. She didn't even have to grapple. She fucking pieced her up on the feet. Oh, fucking Norma. Norma, Norma. Don't tell me you're getting fucking... Norma, don't tell me you're getting sweet with the striking now, Norma. I might actually... Can't say that on YouTube, but... Norma looked really good, man. Irene, she was walking forward the whole time. Norma Dumont was just picking her up with the jab and ones and twos. She was just picking her up the whole time. She won the first round pretty definitively. She outstruck Irene bad. Round 2, she opens the 3 significant cuts, and then round 3 just piles on more damage. And the cut on Irene Aldana's forehead is literally... I saw a video of the doctor in the back, like, opening it up. There's a screen grab from the fight where Norma hits her with a jab, and you can see it literally, like, open all the way up and then, like, smack and bounce back together. God, it's so close. The fight should have been stopped, but... Norma 30-27, Irene Aldana, that'll get her to the top 5. Dude, honestly, Norma Dumont, we might see a Norma Dumont, maybe her rematch with Macy Chasson, because I think they've already fought. Who did I click? Oh, I clicked Macy Chasson. I think Macy has fought Norma Dumont before, right? Or am I tripping balls? She did fight. She won a split decision. You could redo that fight. Because Macy Chasson didn't even really definitively win her last fight. She won by a doctor stoppage, which was also a nasty cut, by the way. That was a terrible cut. But the top part of women's bantamweight's kind of like top heavy. You got Juliana Pena fighting Raquel Pennington. You got Caitlin Vieira fighting Kayla Harrison. I think you could do Macy Chasson, Norma Dumont. Do that rematch. Do that in the Apex. Don't make it a 5-round main event, please. But you could honestly put that on a pay-per-view. Like, 4th fight on the pay-per-view, maybe. Like, the one above the start of the card. But, yeah. I think that's a good fight. Norma Dumont looked really fucking good. Irene Aldana, tough as nails, as always. She's just very tough. We move. Manuel Torres, Ignacio Bahamondes. The 3 fights that I missed on this card, I missed pretty bad. This was one of them. I picked Manuel Torres. I honestly, looking back on it, I probably should have just went with Ignacio because Manuel Torres is kind of a moron who kind of just runs at people. And Ignacio is a sharpshooter. But Ignacio looked really good, man. Ignacio Bahamondes really showed out. Clipped him with the same strike both times. Fucking nuts. Manuel Torres kind of just fought how he does. Runs at people with his hands down. Got clipped for it. Live by the sword, die by the sword type shit. So, we now know Manuel Torres' chin. And I kind of knew that going into this fight, though, because we've seen Nicholas Mota rock him. We saw Chris Duncan rock him. I just didn't know if Ignacio... I don't know why I thought Ignacio wasn't going to be able to land as much. Which is kind of stupid to me, because Ignacio is probably the best striker he's fought in the fucking UFC. Very dumb pick on my end. But great win from Ignacio Bahamondes. At this point, what's that, 3 in a row from Ignacio? Or 2 in a row? Honestly, lightweight. You could do like Esteban Ribovics, Ignacio Bahamondes next. You could do that fight. Honestly. You could do that if you want. We move. Yasmin Jauregui versus Caitlin Souza. The only time you will see... it's only in WMMA you'll see a minus fucking 600 get fucking flatlined in the first 3 minutes. Both of Yasmin Jauregui's losses have been fucking brutal finishes. Man. The fight was close and competitive up until the knockdown and subsequent submission. I thought Yasmin was landing a bit of the better shots, but then whenever she would engage in the pocket, she kind of wouldn't... She would leave her hand down a little bit. And I realized that I was like, you better fucking bring that hand up, lady. She did not bring that hand up, I'll tell you that much. She got fucking blasted by... She got fucking blasted by a fucking... Was it a left hook? I think it was a left hook. And then she got fucking choked unconscious for her trouble. Yasmin Jauregui, again, one of the most touted prospects in women's MMA, gets beat again. Caitlin Souza, 2-fight win streak. That's 2 in a row. Over Marnik Man and now Yasmin Jauregui. Knowing the UFC, you could honestly... Man, you could do... This is a strawweight, right? She doesn't deserve rankings yet. You could probably do her versus who's an unknown women's strawweight fighter. I gotta come up with this right now. Give me a second. Then I gotta do active. You could do Stephanie Luciano, Bruna Brazil. You could do like Sean O'Bannon, Vanessa Demopoulos if you're feeling froggy. Victoria Dudikova, maybe. Or who's a better fighter coming off a loss? You do like Sam Hughes, Caitlin Souza, maybe. Yeah, you got some fights for Caitlin Souza. We move. Edgar Shires versus Joshua Van. I hit another underdog, motherfuckers. Joshua Van, he fucking did it. He did it. The first round was iffy. Edgar was landing pretty solid in the first round. The second round, I don't mean to like hyperbolize things, might be the round of the year, if I'm being totally honest. That round was fucking nuts. Joshua Van is beating the ever-living piss out of Edgar Chairez for about 3 minutes. Edgar Chairez throws a spinning back fist, lands with his forearm. Joshua Van gets rocked bad, really bad, and then Joshua Van ends up on top. The body shots of Joshua Van played a humongous role in this fight. Edgar Chairez kind of slowed down near the end of the fight, couldn't keep the same pace, and Joshua Van kind of picked him apart on the feet, and then got subsequent takedowns, and Edgar couldn't get back up. It was a great fight and great win for Joshua Van. We see Joshua Van, and a lot of people were picking against him because of the knockout against Charles Johnson. Let Joshua Van rest now. Give him like 3 months, at least 3 months. Jesus Christ. Honestly, take 5 months off. Fuck it, take some time off, kid. Shit. Edgar Chairez, what a dog. This guy can take punishment like nobody's business. And Joshua Van, just his striking, so good. I love to see Joshua Van win. That's one of my boys. That's one of the boys on the channel right there. Along with like Igor Severino and shit. That we move. Raul Rosas Jr. Oh, we moved to the start of the card. Raul Rosas Jr. versus Aoriqi Lang. Probably the second worst fight on the card, if I'm being honest, entertainment-wise. Raul Rosas kind of just dominated in the grappling. That's about it. Had a good win against Aoriqi Lang. Kind of how everyone expected him to win. Round 2, very shaky because he couldn't take down Aoriqi Lang. He went 0 of 3. But then he got the takedown in round 3. So, good to see him. His cardio looked better. His striking still definitely needs work. We need to work on that a little bit. Because he was kind of throwing WMMA-esque kicks way out of range. And same with like his overhands. But good one for Raul Rosas Jr. Aoriqi Lang's kind of a tough guy. He's kind of a tough test for probably a 19-year-old kid. He's a pretty big dude. So, great win for Raul Rosas Jr. UFC 306, O'Malley versus Dvalishvili. What a card, man. Also, the Sphere, a lot of people at the start of the night, I was like, man, this looks like shit. As the night went on, holy fuck. That was a badass card. We see why they put so much money into it. It looked badass. I couldn't imagine what it would look like if you were actually in the Sphere. Very cool. Very cool. I know Dana White says this was a one-and-done type thing. I am begging you, Dana. I know you're never going to hear me say this. I am begging you. Please go back. If Riyadh season, if fucking Turkey Alish, Kabul, whatever his name is, gives you money, please go back to the Sphere. That was so fucking badass. I don't care if it's a fucking another Mexican Independence Day fight. I don't give a shit. Please go back to the Sphere. Make it for a different country, why don't you? Go to make another country a love letter. I don't care. Just please fucking go back to the Sphere. It was so fucking cool. What a card. A lot of entertainment. Honestly, the prelims were fucking solid. Raul Rosas Jr., that fight kind of sucked. Edgar Chairez, Joshua Van, insane fight. Yasmin Haragi, Caitlin Souza, insane finish. Manuel Torres, Ignacio Bahamondes, insane finish. Irene Aldana, Norma Dumont, pretty cool fucking fight. Saw the nastiest cut in human history. Ronaldo Rodriguez, Ode Osborne, wild fight. Daniel Zellhuber, Esteban Rivix, fight of the night, insane fight. Brian Ortega, Diego Lopez, fucking cool fight as well. Fucking they were scrapping it out in certain moments. Honestly, two of the more weaker fights on the card were the top of the bill. Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko is probably one of the worst title fights I've seen in probably the last 2 years, if I'm being honest. And O'Malley Dvalishvili, I mean, if you picked Merab to win, that's how you thought he'd win. I knew he wouldn't win in like an entertaining way, but he did make it entertaining somewhat with like his antics by like kissing his back and shit. But great card. Great card. Lived up, probably exceeded the hype. Because honestly, going into this card for this fight week, I honestly was kind of like, man, this card might be shit. It was not. This card was fucking amazing. So, hats off to the UFC, man. Great fucking card. We don't have fights next week, or this Saturday, rather. We get back to the fights next week in Paris. I'll try and make some videos for you guys if I come up with any ideas. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.